So a little off topic here, but Micah, sometimes I go back and look at old interviews when I'm prepping for another one. And our first one was for your first feature, At Any Price. And I know first features can make a big impression on someone. So is there anything about your experience working with Ramin on that you still find yourself thinking back to today?
Oh man, absolutely. I feel like I learned everything on that set. It it changed the course of my life. You know, right prior to booking that job, I was kiteboarding professionally, and I was on a completely different path. And I think if I didn't have such an incredible experience on that set, um, I really don't know if I would have continued to do it. And what was so cool about that project, it was Ramin's first kind of, not that it was a big movie, but a bigger movie. He had done some shorts and smaller films. And so it was kind of both of us with like Zac Efron and Dennis Quaid, who have done tons of movies. And so we were kind of these like newbies being like, this is crazy. So it was a really special first experience.
That does not surprise me at all. He was one of my first film professors, so I just hold him in the highest regard because I don't think I'd be here without him.
That I couldn't agree more.
So I know Veena is a super collaborative director. So for both of you here, was there any particular scene that you needed to workshop with her more than any other?
I think within all of the scenes, it was just about having an open dialogue about what direction we were going to go in and just like how far we could take it with Carl, especially because I feel like she gave me so many words and there was like a lot to say and chew on, and it could go in a lot of different ways. So in the rehearsal room, it became conversations about, well, you know, how far do you want me to go with this? Do you want me to like really just let it fly and be like kind of over the top and lean into it? Or do you want it to be a more subtle thing? And I think ultimately what we arrived at is we would have time to explore all the different ways on set, but just for her to know and give me permission to like, let it fly. Don't be afraid. Like this is, you know, a character that has a lot to chew on because he is a lot to chew on. So don't be afraid to go in that direction, and I can always reel you in.
It was really intense. I mean, it was, you know, for me, pretty much every scene, every day, night shoots, a lot of takes of these scenes. And so it was really nice to have a person, kind of like what Dane was saying, like willing to really push the boundaries. And maybe we don't use that take, and maybe it's not what is right for this thing, but giving the space to be able to like really go there and see how that feels.
I love finding out what a director's tell is behind the monitor when you guys know while you're doing a scene that Veena is really feeling a take. So is there anything she does that kind of tells you like she's into this right now?
I mean, I don't know. It seemed like she would get really excited. I mean, she wears her heart on her sleeve. So I feel like when she was really excited about a take, you could definitely tell.
She's super into it, you know. I mean, she loves doing what she loves doing what she does, and we moved at a fairly fast pace in making this, so there was never time to let up, you know. I'm a fairly singularly minded person, and I certainly can't focus on like multiple things while I'm doing a take. So I never got to like peep her behind the monitor when she like really was loving something, but she definitely always had this energy of, you know, moving forward and trying to make it better. And she always went in there like with a note, with an idea, ready to go on to the next take. And I don't know that I ever noticed like a difference between when she was into it and when she wasn't.
With that singular mind frame on set, what was it like for you watching the whole thing through for the very first time? Was there anything that made you say like, holy shit, that never even registered for me on set?
I mean, I really loved watching it. You know, I think I had a great time watching it. It was a lot of fun to shoot. So I was definitely happy in viewing it that like, it's not just a thriller. It's not just scary, but it's also so much fun to watch. You know, I think there's times that at least it makes me laugh, and I think it would make anybody laugh. And I think you are scared, but you also a lot of times have a smile on your face, and it's really a lot of ups and downs. So I was definitely happy that the joy that I felt making it, I feel like the viewer has a joy in watching it also.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Not to like veer it into the darkness now, but I'm always interested in hearing about backstory. And I don't know how specific you get with your prep, but did you have to pinpoint, I guess I would say maybe the life event that kind of put Carl on this path and got him obsessed with the idea of playing God with the algorithm?
I didn't necessarily give him like a life event that made him fall into this. I think it was just important to know that like this wasn't his first time doing it. And he's been successful with it in the past. And like that success has made him have this like really God complex where he feels like he's invincible, where he feels like he's got it all figured out. And I don't even know that. And I feel like for those reasons, this was probably the first time it really spiraled out of control. And he got as violent as he gets. Like, I don't know that he's ever gotten this violent in his experiments before, but I think while he's gotten this, like, basically I am God, I can predict people's behavior mentality, that as it starts to slip, there's a rage that builds up inside of him, and I didn't necessarily pinpoint that down to one event in his like past or life or anything.
Spinning it around to end on a positive note here, we've been talking a lot about, the negative effects of having social media and technology in our lives nonstop. What is one thing that both of you use social media, the internet, you name it, for that, I guess, brightens your day?
As an actor, a fan base and people that are coming to see your movies is so important. And so having a way to connect and kind of show your, your normal life. I don't know. It seems like a really kind of cool way to connect with people, I guess, that are a fan and are watching the movies.
I mean, like, I really love looking at fan art, it's cool. And I think it's a great way to connect with fans, just to see that like, oh, I've made an impact on their life and they're like creating this thing and then tagging me in it. And I love looking at it for sure. I also work a lot all around the world. So it's a great way for me to keep in touch with all these people I've worked with in Italy and in South Africa and, in like the Arctic and like just places all around the world that I've worked, that I think it would be so hard to keep in touch with them otherwise. And, I have like a driver named Cheslin that he drove me on Chronicle in Cape Town, South Africa, like, I don't know how long it was now, 10-ish years ago. And we still keep in contact. And like, I still know what he's doing. And like, without social media, I don't think we'd be able to do that.
I love hearing that. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.
Yeah.
This is great. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.